Since my last video was school related, I figured why not make another school rant video? Because it's been quite a while since I made one of these videos. Anyway, back when I was in high school, twice every school year, I had to take a series of exams called Regents exams. These exams were statewide tests in New York high schools, and boy did I hate taking them. I had to take an English exam, a science exam, a history exam, and a math exam. History and English I had no problem with whatsoever. Science I've always been kind of iffy on. Math was my huge issue. You had to pass these fucking exams, and back when I was in high school at least, the passing grade was 65. I remember back in ninth grade fucking panicking over the math exam. I studied relentlessly, I practiced relentlessly, I had a tutor that I worked with several times a week in the weeks leading up to the Regents exam. As you probably know, math is a subject I could just never comprehend beyond basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. But shit like algebra and geometry, I was as good as useless with that fucking garbage. So when the day finally came to take my first math Regents exam, the algebra exam to be more exact, I was just fucking panicking because I knew that I probably wasn't going to do very well. And I ended up doing a bit better than I expected, but it was still not satisfactory because I scored below a 65. You want to know what I fucking got? 64! Thankfully, I was given a bit of leeway because I scored just below the passing mark. I didn't have to do shit like summer school or retake algebra, but I did have to retake this exam in 10th grade. I just barely passed the second time around, thank fuck, but I did know some students who had to continually retake the same Regents exam over and over again. And they were otherwise pretty good students who got pretty solid grades. It's just that anxiety settles in when you sit down to take these exams. You start panicking, thinking, oh god, what if I bomb this exam? Because of all the fucking pressure that is placed onto students regarding these exams. If you bomb these exams, you would either have to take summer school or completely retake the class next school year, which thankfully I never had to fucking do, but I knew other students who had to do this shit. Who had to do this shit because they didn't pass one fucking test. Some people are just not good test takers. And I think it's fucking bullshit to completely throw all of the hard work and solid grades they earn throughout the year in a class in the fucking garbage just because they didn't pass a statewide exam. I myself don't consider myself a great test taker. It's been years now since I've taken a test in a classroom. For the past few years, ever since COVID began, I've been taking all of my tests on my computer at home, and let me tell you, I much prefer that. It is a weight lifted off my shoulders. Of course, there is still stress, especially when finals come around during the college semester. I have tests piled onto me, or essays piled onto me, that I have to do at practically the same time, but at least I can do it at home and not have to worry about doing something like writing an essay within like an hour or an hour and a half. I have a lot more freedom time-wise when it comes to this shit now. I still went to class in person for most of my classes in the recent semester, but when it came to tests, essays, all that shit, they just let us do it at home. I remember sitting there, stressed out of my fucking mind, taking these stupid Regents exams, and I don't miss those days whatso-fucking-ever. I had like 2 hours to finish these stupid fucking tests, and when it came to the math test, I would notice that I only have like an hour left, and I was only on question 40 out of like fucking 80 plus. That's when I went, fuck it, and just rushed to the end. Because it was either that or submit an unfinished test. Most of the questions, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing because, again, I just cannot comprehend shit like algebra and geometry whatso-fucking-ever. But again, I am glad those days are finally behind me now. I never have to take another math class ever again in my life, and I never have to worry about this statewide test bullshit ever fucking again in my life. And I am so happy about that. For one of my English Regents exams, I think it was in 11th grade, I got like a 93. And getting a 90 or above on one of these exams makes you eligible for a Regents diploma, which I got. And I have no clue where the fuck it even is, because I do have a wall where I have some diplomas hung up, but that's not one of the diplomas that's hung up, and again, I have no clue where I put that diploma. I guess I should feel bad about that because it is an accomplishment to score such a high grade on one of these exams, but It doesn't really bother me that much. Fuck these exams. I don't need a reminder of their existence in my room. And for those of you in the audience who still have to take these stupid statewide exams, I don't know, thoughts and prayers. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.